Hello again, everyone. I decided that my last response was fun and went well, so I wanted to do it again for Module 10. First off, to respond to Module 10, first part of the section there on formative assessment. I like the concept of formative assessment. I think that it allows for a more quality response to how or what the student has learned in comparison to just giving them a grade. And I think we, through the ed courses, have been beaten over the head with formative assessment and summative assessment. But I like the concept of it. I liked the example, some of the tools that were given in the module, like the logs and the roles idea. I thought that was a pretty good idea, especially for older elementary school or middle school age students. I like also the electronic portfolio idea. I thought that was really cool. A good idea, an opportunity for students to use technology in an effective way. One other thing from the module that I really liked was the portfolio and exit interview as an assessment that was talked about in there, and we had the link for that. I think it's a really cool idea to use that as an assessment tool. I think it provides a great opportunity for the students to really showcase the things that they've learned and how they've grown throughout the semester or throughout the year, both in how they represent it in the portfolio as well as how they would represent themselves in an interview setting. And I think both of those things, both the portfolio and the interview, are activities that are a lot more real world like, as I discussed in my last response for the last module. I think the more real world we can make our classrooms, the more engaged the students are going to be in. So I think it will better prepare them for real world experiences of when they're going to have to be interviewed or present themselves in a different way when applying for jobs or things like that. So I thought that was a neat concept to use as an assessment tool for a class. Some of the other thoughts that I had about this module, I agree with the quotes there about thinking. I think it's something that we need to learn as teachers, but also for our students, and it's something that needs to be taught in the schools to have better thinking processes and be able to really engage in that as an activity in a more serious way. But as was stated in the video, do all of these things we've been learning have educational merit? Well, yeah, they do. But how do we implement them in the current education system? I think that is the main problem that I think face us as the next generation of teachers, is how do we implement all of these great things that we're starting to learn about into the current system? And this kind of goes back to the Module 9 with the problem-based learning projects. They're a great idea, but as was discussed by a few people, they're very time-consuming and it would be very difficult to do them frequently throughout your class because of restrictions of timing, schedules, how much work has to go into them and things like that. I think a lot of the things that we've learned throughout the modules fall into that same category. They're great new things that we can implement into the classroom, but are they really going to work in the current system that we have? And so my question, I guess, is how do we implement them in the current system that we have? And my thoughts on that are that I don't think we fully can do it. I think that in order for us to do these things, we needed to go one step further and not just change the way that we teach and assess our students, but I think we need to make changes to the entire system that would reflect the changes that we're making in our teaching. An example of this might be changing the school schedule, how the school schedule is planned or laid out, for example. If you're going to be doing a lot of problem-based learning projects or things like that, you might have classes go longer, so you're spending more time in one classroom setting, so you can spend a lot of time and effort devoted to a specific activity like that. Another example is the portfolio and the exit interviews as assessment. I think that's something that would be outside of the current way of thinking in the system, and that would provide better feedback for the students. Also, do we really need to have percentages or letter grades attached to everything? Is there a way for universities and trade schools to change the way that students apply for admission that doesn't have such emphasis on a letter grade, but more so on the students' abilities and the things that they've actually learned, something that tells a little bit more about the students? Do I have all the answers to how to make that work? No, but I think that could be a direction that we go in the future as educators and as an educational system to be even better and be educating our students even better than we are now. I've enjoyed all 10 modules. I've enjoyed being able to hear other people's thoughts and discussion on it, and I think this course has been a good course to prepare us for our careers ahead of us. Thanks.